I'll tell y'all one thing. My Hurricanes don't play when it comes down to getting the quarterback. What Pat Narduzzi had to say recently on Sirius XM will make you raise your eyebrows a little bit. All right, what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and hype up the video, man. We got several big time words today. Obviously from Pat Narduzzi when it came to his star quarterback Mason Heintschel, right? And I want to talk about what he basically had to say about my favorite team, the Miami Hurricanes, right? They were accused of tampering with Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Heintschel. One second. Excuse me. And we know the Miami Hurricanes have been obviously in that same conversation when it came to Darren Mensah. Obviously, I believe the same thing. We tampered. We got him doing what we did. I'm not faulting for it. I think we have one of the best quarterbacks in the country. It's just that simple. But I feel like Miami is a team they knew last year, like, hey, we don't quite have the quarterback ready that we want, and we're gonna go try to get him out of the portal, right? If we can't get this guy, that guy, we'll get them. And why not Mason Heintschel? Mason Heintschel had a big time year last year, right? He did his thing, right? And how good was Heintschel? Heintschel at one point led, Pittsburgh was in the race to potentially go to a AC championship game, right? There was in a running for that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. They lost to Miami. We know obviously what happened there. But this is what Heintschel did last season. And I won't say like they're crazy numbers because they're not, but there's potential there. He was solid as a true freshman quarterback. 2,354 passing yards, 16 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, and a 57.6 quarterback rate. Again, not eye-popping numbers, but to be a true freshman to come in and do what he did when Pittsburgh was on the cusp of getting to a or on the cusp of getting to Charlotte, it says a lot. It tells you a lot, right? So I can see why they pursued him in terms of seeing what he got. But they got the best option available in getting, obviously, Darian Mensah, right? But it does make sense why they would go after, right? So this is what Amanda Ghazi had to basically say. Pat Narduzzi says on Sirius XM that the day Mason Heintschel received a lucrative offer from Miami and recommitted to Pitt, that he called Duke coach Manny Diaz and told him he better watch out. Quarterback Darren Mensah will later wind up transferring to Miami. So obviously, with that corner, what Amanda had to say, basically he was trying to put Manny Diaz on game, right? And like I said, Miami was trying to do whatever they could to land certain quarterbacks to come in there, and obviously, come to, 305. Now, if however you look at it, there's definitely tampering going on. Ole Miss has done it. My Hurricanes have done it. A lot of teams have done it, right? And that just goes to show you there's no guardrails on NCAA college football. But what we see is, right, you can call it my Miami Hurricanes for it, but taking advantage of the system, taking advantage of what's going on right now. But when people bond together, like how we saw with the whole Brendan Sorsby situation, the power of unity, like, hey, we're not playing them in any sport. Like that pretty much put Brendan Sorsby out. Now he doesn't have any choice now. He can't even do the NFL supplemental draft. He won't have a chance until 2027 draft. This is basically waiting a whole year, right? Now, we're not talking about that, but it's just going to show you the unity and what people that can think like-minded together and can come together, the difference it can make and change. It does need to be changed when it comes to tampering is why I bring up that point, right? But I'm not going to be mad at my Hurricanes for doing it. I want to try to better this roster, right? That's what they tried to do. They wanted to better the roster. They wanted to get the quarterback in because last year they made it to a national championship. Carson Beck's out of eligibility. I think that was his 6th year playing college football, right? They had to move on. Why not go get one of the top quarterbacks as a true freshman that played pretty well, right? That's just what it is, right? He also completed 63.6% of his passes. Like I said, 16 touchdowns, 2,300 yards passing, right? But we all know that Heintschel is very loyal. So again, my thought on the news is I'm not mad at it. I think it was a wise move. Look, you're trying to get the right commits, right people in the building at the door. You have to do what you have to do in order for it to happen. Heintschel had a really good year. Obviously, he made different games where he went off. right? And he made some throws, right? I go back to frame for me, the Georgia Tech game, right? He was 20 for 27, 226 yards, and 2 touchdowns, right? It's several games where he played very well as a true freshman, right? Like just to show you the stats, you can go to the NC State game for Heintschel, right? When he went up, obviously, against the Wolfpack, 28 of 48, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns, right? Week 2 against Boston College, 323 yards on 30 or 41 passing and 4 touchdowns, right? Some of the games he struggled, like Florida State, obviously, of course, Miami, ECU, but the other games he played extremely well and led his team to victory and did what he was supposed to do in hostile environments, right? So I'm not mad at my Hurricanes for doing it. You got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. I think it's just more so a reflection of what the current state of college football is. So the fact we were interested, I think we got the better quarterback in Darian Mensa anyway, over Heintschel, but Heintschel definitely has a lot of upside. The big thing for him is, can you avoid the sophomore slump? That's what happened with Eli Holstein. He got hurt, didn't play as well as his freshman year, and they ended up moving on to Heintschel. But he has a bright future ahead. It's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do. But again, he was a talented quarterback who played well, but we know he's very loyal to Coach Pat Narduzzi, obviously to the Pittsburgh Panthers and the brand. So it is what it is. But again, I'm not mad at my Hurricanes for pursuing this guy, for trying to go after and bring him in. It makes a lot of sense. He's a leader, great player. I'm not mad at it at all. But this is basically what Narduzzi had to say. The temper has got it in, especially in conference, right? He talked about the outside attempts to get his quarterback to transfer on the portal's final day at ACC kickoff, right? So he was adamant. Narduzzi's more so old school. I get it. Said he was remarkably candid in our conversation about Miami's pursuit of quarterback Mason Heintschel. He received an overture, went straight to Narduzzi, and Pitt sprang into action. Narduzzi then warned Manny Diaz, right? So he kept it real, right? He kept it real. They gave him a lucrative offer. Obviously, Miami's a private university, right? We make good money. We do our thing, and we try to bring the best of the best talent in. So again, not mad, but it should be something done about tampering for sure. But again, at the same breath, I'm not going to be mad at my Hurricanes for being in a position to try to get the best of the best. But there should be tampering in place. All right. That's my thoughts. That's my reaction to the Miami Hurricanes news. Obviously, with them trying to pursue Mason Heintschel. Again, I think we got the best quarterback available with obviously Darian Mensa, who's going to lead us to new heights and things like that. It is what it is. That's the current climate situation, right? You can say what you want. Teams are doing it all across the board. It ain't just us. It's multiple teams doing it as well. There should be something in place. We'll see if the NCAA acts and eventually does something. But very interesting to see that come up today, when it comes down to Pat Narduzzi and the Pittsburgh Panthers. But that's all I got for today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Happy the video, and I will see you in the next one. And remember, as always, peace and love.